It's me, Lyfelde. I'm here to rescue thee. So please don't struggle. I was alerted to your capture, and I came as fast as I could. I'm going to teleport us both somewhere safe. Alright? And then I'll take off thy blindfold. Okay, carefully. I'm holding on to you. Just rest against this tray here. Okay. Art thou hurt anywhere? Any major injuries? Did they tie you up too hard? Good. I am just so glad thou art all right. Where are we? We're still in the forest, not too far from thy castle. We're also still quite close to where I defeated thy captors. I've just teleported twice, and I still need to ensure that both of us get back home safely. So I teleported somewhere nearby in order to conserve a little bit of my mana. I just first needed to make sure thou wast all right. Get you away from the area, and then take a minute to repose before deciding on our next move. Am I hurt? No, I'm all right. Please, thou need not worry about me. I was just worried about that. Huh? My face. Blood. I'm all right, really. This is not my blood. I didn't kill thy kidnappers, but in order to rescue thee, I did have to I'm sorry, my dear prince. I didn't want to use violence, but they kidnapped thee. So of course, I was going to do everything within my means to rescue thee, even if it meant attacking thy captors. How did I do it? Well, when I was alerted that something was wrong, I utilized my dark magic. I gave myself a little bit of time to calm my breathing and formulate a plan. I used my dark magic to survey the area, and then I teleported myself about 500 meters ahead of the carriage in which thou wast being transported. There I cast water over the dirt road to make a mud trap, But then thy captors made a sudden turn into the forest. There must have been a path I missed in my haste. That's when I teleported right on top of thy captors, and I used a fighting style Roth taught me, using my sword as an extension of my arm and my water magic as an extension of my sword. I was able to swiftly deal with thy captors. 9 against 1, but I emerged victorious and unscathed. Like I said, I wasn't trying to kill them, but please don't forget, they tried to kidnap a prince. My prince. And I did my best to keep my attacks under control. So they probably won't die. But my first and foremost concern was your safety, my dear prince. I had to apprehend them as quickly as possible before they could call for backup. I had to get you out of there as fast as possible. Thou hast to understand. I know thou dost not like violence, and I know thou wouldn't hurt anyone. But this was necessary. I was trained in combat with both a sword and a catalyst for a reason, and this was it. And how did I know that you were in danger? I realized quickly that something was going to go awry during this war. Iskandar's unexplained disappearance, the Vitalin invasion of Akaluk, several protectorates in Akaluk trying to claim independence, some even joining the Vitalin forces. Timoth may be further from Akaluk than Hoyled, but thy kingdom, thou, my dear prince, art not immune from this war. Perhaps that's why thou wast kidnapped. Thus, before I left for Hoyled, I used my dark magic to set up a few security measures. There is a form of science that is not very well known by those outside of the royal courts. It is known as alchemia or rasayana. It deals with the essence of life. Dark magic allows me to use alchemia with ease. Thus, I used it to create creatures that look and sound and act like birds, who simply remain perched on trees or fly at a certain distance from the castle. And if necessary, I can see what they see through their eyes. No, it wasn't my intention to spy on they, my handsome friends. It was just a security measure. The idea was that the birds would inform me if anything went wrong. Otherwise, I would not even bear the thought of having them fly close enough to the castle to observe what thou art doing. I understand that thou art angry with me. I set up this surveillance without thy consent. So I understand. I truly do. But please don't get upset, baby. I did this for thy safety. And I truly am remorseful that I did not consult thee before casting such magic. It was just a last-minute thought right before I teleported back to Akerna's castle. As I had walked out of thy castle and walked down the dirt road to the same forest, I had a subtle premonition that something was going to happen, that something terrible was going to happen to thee. This does not excuse that what I did was wrong, but I was correct that thou wast in danger. I don't know for what reason, but a group of thugs kidnapped thee whilst thou wast on thine own. And I will not idly stand by while my boyfriend, one of two people I care about the most in this realm, gets put in danger. The gods have looked upon me with favor, blessing me with both incantations in water and dark magic. So I will use my strength to protect those dearest to me. Thank you for understanding, my dear prince. The second person? Yes, Ross is the second person I care about the most. He's well, doing good for the kingdom, as he always does, working so hard. He captured a Vitalan vampire to use for reconnaissance missions, but, from the sounds of things, they seem to be getting along quite like friends, going on some sort of adventure. Not that that was what he said. Thou knowest what Ross is like, too shy to admit things. But I can tell, even from his written correspondences to me, I can tell how he's failing. He is my best friend, after all. But he never communicates to me like he's my best friend. When he was my retainer, it was always Prince Lyfelde, even when I told him to drop the Prince title. When the previous commander of the Royal Forbidden Army died, and he was asked to take up the spot, he even referred to me as Your Highness, and knelt before me. Thou knowest, my dear prince, he took up the position as commander around the time thou and I started dating. I wonder if he thinks he can't see me as a friend because of his position in the army, or because we're dating now and he thinks he's, I don't know, not allowed to be close to me anymore because I'm in a relationship. We've had this discussion before, have we not? Thou art quite fond of Ross, thou sayest. Thou wast glad that, despite being heir to the throne of Wyld, I still have a very close friend, which wasn't the experience of thine elder brother being the heir to the throne of Timeth. It's my fault, really. I haven't tried to communicate properly with him. I've only ever told him through hot cheeks to not refer to me as Your Highness. He's made certain assumptions about our relationship and how it may function as a result of thou and I dating. I don't blame him, though, with the certain fling we had going on at some point. I imagine he might feel a bit awkward about it. But I don't know, because I haven't had that conversation with him. As far as I can tell, we didn't have feelings for each other. He might just feel a bit odd that we did things well before thou and I met. Dost thou remember me mentioning this? Thou knowest what teenage boys are like, right? I had to get my experience from somewhere, and Ross was it. I can see thy devilish little smirk, my dear prince, and I know exactly what thou art thinking about. I'll tell you as many stories as thou likest, and if thou like the sound of it, thou canst ask Ross thyself. He's not the type to say no, if one is direct and honest. Look at me, my dear prince. I am truly sorry for not consulting thee about the magic I use. I owe thee a big explanation about my dark magic, but thou hast been through so much today. Please, let me bring thee back to my castle in Lyfelde. Thou wilt be safe with me, lest Lyfelde be attacked by the Vitalins. But even if that happens, I will bring thee to safety immediately. I guarantee thee this. Does this sound all right? Thank you for putting thy faith in me. I will continue to protect thee, and I shall not let thee down, my dear, handsome prince. Thanks so much for listening to this audio. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like on the video or a comment. They both go a very long way in supporting my channel. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to my patrons, especially my pack alphas. Without my patrons, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to make videos, and I wouldn't be able to do what I love doing, which is making ASMR content. So thank you so much. Specifically, I'd like to say thank you to Blaine, CJ, Danny with a second I, Danny with an NY, Emerald, Cordier, House of Jen, Imani, Kyle, MAW, Makata, Novak, Ray, Rain, Robbie, Rose, Sky, The By Brit, Toby, Wolf Loud, Wolf Pride, and Wolfgar. They're all my pack alpha patrons, which is my highest tier. And I'm incredibly grateful to each and every one of them and all my other patrons as well for supporting me. Thanks so much for listening to this audio, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.